Having nothing inside of you, feeling empty, being completely drained, that's the closest thing to death while living. I have to take a day off work when I know I'm getting to the point of mental exhaustion. I have to take off. And I don't plan on taking these hours with me to my grave. I'm gonna life as an overthinker. How do you find peace if you fall into this category? I know I fall into this category, and it's something that I had to come to grips with. Worrying about things that you can't control. Planning too much instead of letting things flow. I'm always a person that think everything has to be planned out, but that's simply just not true. You can't plan everything. You can't plan for every pitfall and mishap in your life or project or whatever it is. Thinking you have to be the one to do everything, let me tell you, that is so false. The best leaders in this world are ones that know how to delegate. That was a challenge of mine when I started taking supervisor roles. I would jump in and try to do every single thing, and I got a whole staff of people now. Instead of being just strictly being the employee, I was the supervisor over a bunch of employees that I can delegate responsibilities to and not have to do everything on my own. That's just something I had to learn, and I've grown to being able to delegate. Now my work ethics still haven't changed. I know how to jump in and go do all those things still, but having someone in place or having a group of individuals in place that are capable, or me training them to be capable of doing what I can do, has been great for me in my professional life. Not believing what you have accomplished is enough. I'm always looking for the next accomplishment. Is that a bad thing? No, it's not. But if it's to the point where you're not enjoying what you have accomplished, it can be a horrible thing because you are way too hard on yourself. You can't be too hard on yourself. Enjoy the things you've accomplished. Sometimes I've gotten to the point where I look back and say, dang, I accomplished this, I accomplished that. That wasn't easy. This wasn't easy. You know, so with all that, you got to consider, when do you rest your brain? When do you rest your brain? This is my peace. This is how I rest my brain. You should find something that helps you relax and rest your brain. If you are a person that is an overthinker, you have to find your calm. You may be overstimulated. Relax. Find your calm. Create a quiet space. This is my quiet space. It's not always got to be in your home or whatnot. It can be my home. It can be your home, but being out in nature is my quiet space. It is my peace. Turn down the volume in your life. It's too loud sometimes. It's too loud. Find your balance and steady your foundation. You can't stay off kilter for too long, or your foundation will crumble to the point of non-existent. So now you have nothing to grab hold to when things do get chaotic. You can't allow your foundation to crack. Breathe and meditate. That's what it's all about. No, E.T. Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher himself, says, wherever your focus goes, your energy flows. Wherever your focus goes, your energy flows. You need to recharge. You're overwhelmed. Charge back up. Read, meditate, go on a nature walk. Go out here in nature like I am right now. Recharge. Whatever you need to do, get away from those folks. Do not allow yourself to be completely drained of your energy. How can you give something you don't have? So, Eric Thomas, he also spoke on allowing family members and other people in general, your friends, drain you of all your energy, and you don't even have enough for the family in your household, like my wife, my daughters, or your wife, your daughters, or your husband, your wives, or whatever your situation is. You can't let somebody completely drain you that you don't have enough for energy for the people at home that you're directly responsible for. That cannot happen. All right. Being completely drained is the closest thing to death, in my opinion, while living. Having nothing inside of you, feeling empty, being completely drained, that's the closest thing to death while living. outside of the other things you can't control, like illnesses or whatnot. But let's be honest, a lot of those illnesses and sicknesses, they're caused by someone draining you of your energy. That's just the true nature of things. Charge back up, recharge. My focus is my bubble, my core, my wife, my two daughters. That's my core. That's my focus. That's where my energy flows. My check, any hustle, side hustle money that I make goes into my household before it's spread out anywhere else. I have to take care of home. What do you need? What do they need? I'm gonna get what I need, but get what y'all need first. That's where my energy is. Now, with that, my wife will get the things that I need without me asking. That's just how we're wired. So maybe that's how why I can focus on these things. So your focus and your energy is going to have a lot to do with who's in your life. My wife is a peaceful energy. Does that mean that we don't have friction? No. But she is an overall positive energy in my life. So that's why my focus can be level headed and a lot more clear than if it was a negative energy. It's the little things, but that is where my focus is at this point in my life. Where's your focus? That means where's your energy going? Is your focus on these negative situations in your life? Is your focus on the wrong person in your life? Because your energy going to a negative person, going to the wrong person that I see often, too often, it's going to affect your focus in your life. So where is your focus right now? Where's your energy going? Is it wasted energy? Are you wasting your energy on somebody? And it could be somebody that you say you love. Are they draining you of your energy? That is a big question. Are they draining you of your energy? That's what I asked you. Where's your focus? I've gotten to the point where I look back and say, dang, I accomplished this, I accomplished that. That wasn't easy, this wasn't easy. So in high school, give you a story. In high school, I didn't have the greatest GPA. I finished probably 2.3, 2.4 because I struggled on the particular subjects. But that didn't deter me from going to college. I went to college and got nothing less than the dean's list, which is a 3.0 every single semester. Attained 2 degrees. Undergrad, I graduated with magna cum laude. Meaning I had like a 3.3 GPA. So I graduated with honors. Then I got my master's. I pursued my master's and graduated 3.5. So just given that information, I didn't in school, grade school. I wasn't the greatest student in class. But then I grew. It didn't deter me from going further and pursuing further education, and I got better. Right. Self reflection is the best reflection. What do I mean by that? What if your haters are right? What if your service is trash? What if your product actually do suck? What if my podcast that I had before, what if it was just bad? That's why I may not have grown, to be quite honest. Whether all those things are true or not, we have to reassess and realign. We have to consider those possibilities, even though they may be hard. No, it's not saying that you aren't good enough at what you want to do or what you're doing, your business or what have you. It just means considering what people are saying. It's not all hate. Sometimes it's just another perspective outside of your own that you have to accept, but not internalize it and accept it to the point where you stop doing what you're doing or just give up on what you're doing. You still keep going, you still keep pushing. However, you have to consider those different perspectives along your journey in whatever you're doing in life. Regaining your spark, rediscovering you. Sometimes life can dim your light, whether it's getting older, coming out of a relationship, whether that's a romantic relationship or friendship. It could be either or. those things sometimes they end. Some things they don't go as planned, and it affects you. Coming out of tough life situations in general, losing someone, we all will be in a position to have to regain ourselves at some point in our lives. Sometimes we have to do it over and over again. I've been through plenty of things. I had to overcome things throughout my life. Things don't stop. That's what I tell my daughter now. Baby girl, you're going through some things right now. They're simple now. They're going to get tougher. They're not going to stop. You have to learn how to deal with them. Do not run from them. You have to face them head on and deal with them and get through it. It's going to be tough. It's going to be heartaching. Say, Carlos, how do you keep smiling? How do you just keep going? Why don't you you lose people in your life? Yes, I'm sad. I get down. I get depressed. But I have to move forward. I still love those people. But man, you can't to the point you sulk in pity and loss and failure so much that you destroy yourself from the inside out. Because it will happen. That will happen if you allow it. It has to start with a healing journey. You have to heal. You have to heal. You have to allow yourself to heal. If you just got a tough relationship, why would you grow right back in another one? You didn't even heal yet. You're going to hurt the other person. Hurt people hurt people. That's one of the truest statements ever said. Friendships. If you don't adjust the way that you become friends with people and your friendships, you're going to get hurt again. You lose people. Those things are out of your control. Life happens. Somebody's going to lose you one day, and that's just a tough reality. It's life. Be aware of your mental health. I have, mental health that runs close to me and my family. So I have to be aware of this. I can't let depression spiral out of control. It can turn into other things, and I know this. I feel these things sometimes in my body, and something's not right. I know this. I know it's close to me and my family. I have to be very aware of these things spiking up. So I have to treat myself well. I have to be aware of these things and go do things. I have to take a day off work when I know I'm getting to the point of mental exhaustion. I have to take off. And I don't plan on taking these hours with me to my grave. I'm going to use my time for sure. And I expect anyone else to do the same thing. I encourage it.